A warm, glad, and pleasant day welcomes all of us today. Another beautiful morning, another learning opportunity. So here we are on the third day of the super exciting proceedings of the Teachathon event. The video that you just watched, it was a supporters from Tutorhood. Tutorhood provides online live interactive classes and is a one-on-one personalized session for students of class 8 and above for preparing IIT, NEET, IGCSE across India and the world. Tutorhood also works with junior colleges and schools, providing specialized content for JEE test preparations. Now, moving on to our webinars, we have with us Mr. Chandra Pulamarasetti. Sir is the founder of Budh CEO Quantum Foundation, is a successful software industry entrepreneur, former vice president of IBM Corporation, transformational meditation coach, and board member advisor of few non-profit organizations, including Pyramid Valley International, Bangalore. Sir attributes a lot of his success, including the recent acquisition of his software company, Sanovi Technologies, to the powerful techniques based on meditation and manifestation. Having learned meditation from his medical doctor brother, Dr. GK, in the year 1999, Sir is inspired and deep masters from the East and the West, including Dr. Joe Dispenza, Swami Rama, Neil Donald Walsh, Seth, and many more. He has been practicing meditation for over 20 years now. He teaches regularly to organizational and business leaders and professionals, conducts multi day advanced meditation retreats, and participates in several meditation service activities. Sir dreams of a spiritual world being established in the shortest possible time, where every leader transforms into a Budh CEO and contributes to this cause significantly. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, sir. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Janani-ji, and thank you, Seema ma'am. Thank you, Latha madam, for this opportunity. Our topic is socio-emotional learning, but everything about me is meditation. But there is a strongest connection between these two. If there is one thing that meditation is providing, the difference is this emotional development out of the gate from day one, from day two, from day three. I've been, like any child, I've been a very competitive child, very highly competing. Of course, I was fortunate to be self-managing because I was given a lot of independence from very early on. But this competition, the idea of notion of I have to win, I have to compete, I have to be the best, always push me to the edge, knowingly, unknowingly. It constantly created stress. Then when I was young, I did not know about it, but I slowly learned a lot of it as I came into the work environment, work life. Because what we pick up in an early age is what naturally goes on into our later on years. We all know that. But the later, then putting words to this concept of having this highly competing, wanting to win, wanting to dominate, wanting to take over somebody else, or the other way, not being able to cope up with the pressures, and so completely go into a self-critical, mental dialogue mode of lowering ourselves, that I'm not good enough, that I cannot perform, I cannot win. Either way, both of them eventually bring us down, bring a child down. The socio-emotional learning, which of course is the most important aspect of every human, and we are talking in the context of children, but to me and to the more we look at it in the workplace and look at it in the senior citizens as they retire, we see that it is something that is required for everybody. Social emotional learning, ability to have that emotional regulation that does not derail us from whatever we are doing right now, and then still be able to perform what we are doing independent of an environmental activity that is triggering emotional imbalance into us. The moment we see a teacher, a child suddenly withdraws. The moment they see parent in a certain situation, they go back, they immediately go into their own room because they've already withdrawn from the environments. They some way felt there's a lack of consideration. They some way felt there's a lack of recognition. And the similar characteristics, they some way felt lack of love. So we carry on these into our adult lives and then go on to the seniorhood lives too. So we'll understand socio-emotional intelligence in the best possible way that can be imbibed into a child, because those are the formative years, as we all know. Thank you so much for joining, taking time to join this session. The whole idea, in many ways, we all have some kind of understanding of what this socio-emotional intelligence is, but how do I develop it? How do I develop it into my life first? And if we can have, then I can naturally give it to somebody else. We are a firm believer that what we don't have, we can't give. What we don't have, we can't give. If I have money, I can give. If I have some resources, I can give. If I have love, I can give. If I don't have it, I can't give. If I have mindfulness in me, then I can naturally give that to somebody else. Otherwise, it'll just be a talk. I'll just be exhibiting my dual self. I say something to my students or my family around, but I'm deep inside, I'm not that. So how do we develop it? So understand this emotional intelligence, social emotional skills a little bit, but then most importantly, I want us to learn some of the things that we are doing worldwide across globally under Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation movement to, to introduce that skill, that mindfulness meditation skill that's so easy, contrary to the big myth that meditation is only for people who are retired, only for people who have problems, only for those who don't have anything else to do. Contrary to the big myths that are there, that we will learn and practice a little bit, understand meditation, how it is empowering everybody from a 5-year-old child to 150-year-old person or deeply bedridden individual. Doesn't matter. I hope before we end this session in about 45 minutes, we'll be able to understand these a little bit and also practice and then go with a tool that we think it can help us, because helping millions of people worldwide to bring in this socio-emotional intelligence. So let me quickly share a slide, friends. So SEL, I'll not spend much time, but SEL is a way to, all the good qualities that will bind people together, right? Giving respect, having that empathy, not sympathy, having that empathy to consider others, that if I go through stuff, they too go through stuff. Being considerate at, with people that Everybody is their own level of learning. Everybody is their own level of evolution. So being considerate, going down to someone's level and understanding their situation is empathy. So ability to develop that respect, empathy, self-awareness is the most biggest thing in this chart, is to understand how am I doing with my thoughts, emotions, reactions, and everything, right? Being able to collaborate, being able to motivate or inspire people, self-motivation, engaging with others, everybody, being that leader, and then getting things done, smaller things by myself, bigger things with everybody else combined together, can get many things done, right? Having developing that ethical responsibilities and towards environment, towards people, right? And then having, of course, in a global mindset, that we are a global citizen, that oneness consciousness translates to global mindset. It's very easy. The children do get it if we don't condition them. So cell is a process of developing these social emotional skills in the context of feeling safe, feeling cared, well managed, engaging learning environments. I mean, these are many words in here, but I think the right side pictures sort of tell us what is it that it is trying to inculcate, imbibe, right? Now, I like this picture because it is a tough picture to understand for children, but I think as academicians, we can understand this. This whole gamut of these skills can be organized in this wheel of 5 things. One is to remember these 5 things: self-awareness, an expression, inspiration, being inspiring, being inspired, empathy, having that empathy, and engagement. The 5 areas broadly is how this emotional intelligence, social emotional intelligence is combined and then talked about in psychology. These 5 things are developed, then people are excelling from having a very low self-esteem to a very negative attitudes or feeling left out kind of aspects. Some people are able to first come to a neutral situations and then from there become a very positive, miraculous minded people to lead a beautiful life. It's just developing all of these skills translate into a beautiful life. And of course, naturally it provides that great school environment, highly academic environment naturally, because when you're able to when you're able to enjoy life beautifully, then we start learning pretty easily and quickly. Learning becomes easy when you're happy with ourselves. So to understand these 5 skills, little more what they mean. So self-awareness is understanding our individual self, understanding our thoughts, understanding our emotions, understanding the reactions, being aware of it every moment. It takes less than a second when there is a trigger comes in through environment for us to immediately express that feeling of anger. A child suddenly, or a parent or anybody gets into that anger mode. Suppose they are carrying that situation that happened again and again for them through the teacher or the child, father, parents. So they're getting into that anger mode or getting into withdrawal mode happens under a second. Before you and I realize, when that environmental trigger comes, that the teacher shows up, or that particular debate or discussion appears to happen in the next classroom, and then the moment you hear those words, and then suddenly it takes less than a second for us to immediately lose our control and then do an action. Our body is conditioned is so much that when things happen again and again at home, at workplace, and then children then automatically, and then the same with the adults, are automatically are going into their emotional drama. The reaction patterns show up immediately, but that's less than a second. It happens under a second. So we have no control of it unless we check them in the mind. So self-awareness is to develop that ability to recognize what's happening into my thoughts, emotions, reactions. When we are aware, then when we are aware about what's happening to me, why am I getting angry? Why am I feeling low? Why am I pulling myself back? When we're aware of it, then we have an opportunity to respond to it. So that's when we become confident, because we respond differently. We no longer exhibit that anger. The moment we know that we're getting angry, the moment we know that, hey, I'm going into this negative spin of myself and saying, I'm not good, I'm not good, I'm not good. And so the moment we're aware, then we have an opportunity to translate, and then we have opportunity to respond differently. If we know what to respond, so that's when we gain confidence and our self-worth increases. We become more aware of how we speak at that point, how we are extending our kindness, consideration to others. So self-awareness is a fundamental inside this emotional intelligence. Developing the self-awareness. It's also another name is mindfulness. If you say we have a nice park in our school environment, and then asking children to go through their mindfully walk, step by step, mindfully observe every flower, look at it, feel it, touch it. What is the shape? What is the material feel like? What is the smell of it? Then having them to just do that simple exercise of mindfully walking in the garden, in that park, and then feeling it, the touching it, can slowly develop the self-awareness quite a bit. There are many tools of self-awareness, but self-awareness, we understand first the concepts, right? Self-awareness. Self-expression is, from self-awareness comes expression. Once we know what's happening to me, then we have an option to respond. Self-expression requires a lot of strength inside. If people nag me all the time, if people are authoritatively telling me something all the time, then me being able to express, somebody is bullying me all the time, and me being able to express and say what is important to me, standing up and then expressing, because that gain comes with a lot of confidence. Self-awareness gives that confidence, but self-expression requires that strength, that inner strength to express and say, hey, look, this is important for me, in a positively, in a affirmatively, but not arrogantly. It's all about self-expression, ability to express gently, nicely, calmly. So gaining balance in expressing, telling positively, acknowledging the feelings of the other person, but the telling positively. Self-expression is fundamental in correcting a situation, to draw what a child truly feels that he needs to go through in a school, in an environment, learning environment, or at home. A lot of times, parents or many of us do not like if children disobey our words, but how often are we considerate to them in what they really like, what they really feel that they want to know or learn? How often are we considerate? And since we do not like, so they also withdraw, they also don't express it. And then is okay, but then as you grow up, it is a problem. In work environment, we see it. They have so much of interest, but then they're not able to express it because they feel, anyway, I was not considered in childhood. And then who's going to consider me now as an adult here in environment? They have a lot of ideas, but they don't express it. Their creativity has gone to zero level. So self-expression is an important quality to develop, to be able to express and to claim rightfully what is ours, what is mine, what is that I really love. The more we do what we like, friends, then the more then we're able to like what we start doing. If I get something that I really like to do, I like to play for an hour. I like to spend time with this close friend for some time. If I get that moment of in every day, then automatically I start developing interest towards everything else I'm doing. Everything else I'm doing. Inspiration is being inspired with what I'm doing. Being inspired, that is someone who is always going into the detail of learning. The moment if I'm able to set an environment that people are inspired, if child is inspired, an adult is inspired, then they give their best. We know that. If I'm inspired, then I'm giving my responsibilities higher. You tell them, you tell child, you tell anybody something to do, and then they are completing it. They go into the detail. They're completing end to end because they really love it. Inspiration comes when we like what we're doing. So we have to develop that interest into the children in some ways by giving them opportunities to do what they like to do. Empathy is understanding others and allowing for imperfections, being very considerate to others, avoiding complaints, avoiding judgments, not talking about a third person among two people, not talking about third person. Empathy. Recognizing failures to happen. As you can read this, dear friends, they all are first applicable to the teachers and parents, then applies to the students and children. This is how we take it in the world of spirituality development or personal development. It is the teacher developer first needs to have it, and then the people who want to gain it will naturally pick it up. They'll pick it up. We all know that people learn not through the words but by the actions. If they learn 1% through the words, and then they learn 10% through the actions, 10 times more. So engagement is the skills to interact and influence others. This is where we become leaders, people who have natural ability to be having this coordination skills, leadership skills, taking initiatives. They have this listening skills. Being a listener naturally makes us a great leader. If you're a listener, then become a great leader. How do we develop these skills? But this is the wheel of emotional intelligence, dear friends. And these social emotional qualities are all are encapsulated in this. And there are many ways that this can be inculcated. But a few that I'm not here to talk about it. With this SEL, there is so much subject and context. In the context of national education policy, I was told SEL is big and is trying to introduce the skills to the children very early on. There are few things that can be done. Guidance to follow rules. So giving examples that if animals are able to do it, we're able to do it. Something that we correlate and relate to it. Being little creative and then providing some examples of, there is a lot of stuff that is given here in this slide. Guidance to follow rules could be one. In a simple way, the children can be inculcated. Choose to be kind. Kindness every day. Express kindness to small things to big things. If I get a meal, express. If somebody needs help, somebody is low, walk up to them. Say something to them. So listing down a few activities that children can do, in students can do, in then being kind and giving that helping hand, right? Gratitude is a great way. It is free. Gratitude is free. That being thankful. I get a meal, being thankful. I have somebody today gave me a book to read. I'm thankful. My teacher gave me a compliment. I'm thankful. I'm able to take the bus and come to school. I'm thankful. Expressing and providing that ability to give thanks to small things to big things is a great way of developing these emotions. The whole emotional development, the emotional skill happens when you're able to be ourselves in a higher positive emotion. We have two types of emotions. Negative emotions are low fear-based emotions, and positive emotions are love-based emotions. If we can move ourselves into a love-based or positive emotion at every moment, then automatically the emotional intelligence is coming together to us. When we are positively there in our body, in our mind, in our heart, then automatically then that awareness comes to us. We become spontaneously expressing considerate to others. They all come automatically if you are only in the positive mode, state of mind. So gratitude is a great way to be positive. Developing, expressing kindness is a great way to be positive. In a positive emotion, automatically you have a high emotional intelligence. Self-managing feelings. This is the self-development, self-awareness concept of becoming aware of what I'm doing, asking them to contemplate every moment or every few hours and once in a day. Hey, how are you feeling today? How did you feel today the whole day? Did you meet somebody? Did you have this concept that I'm not liking, or I'm not liking this subject? I feel threatened by this person. Did you have any of those? So just asking them to assess themselves with simple questions can raise their awareness about what they're feeling. Right. But most importantly, while they're all there, I would like to say that meditation, doing a process called heart elevation, our mindfulness practices can develop significantly this whole social emotional intelligence. The core of emotional intelligence, emotional quotient, a skill, is so naturally developed when children, when students or adults can meditate for a few minutes a day. A 10-year-old for 10 minutes, a 20-year-old for 20 minutes, a 30-year-old for 30 minutes. If they meditate for a few minutes a day, then everything is taken care. This socio-emotional intelligence is developed enormously. Children and students become so much self-managing. This develops so much respect. There's so much empathy automatically, because meditation squarely and heart elevation is putting us into heightened states of awareness about ourselves. So let's understand a bit about meditation. I'd like to take this as one of the most powerful techniques for developing socio-emotional intelligence. We do these meditation sessions to students. And a student, we're doing it for youngsters, graduating students, right? But the youngsters, of course, the young, very young, below 10 years, there are several opportunities to teach, and then Buddhasiya Foundation can teach too. But when we teach to the students, they land great admissions, they land great jobs, they completely change their personality. A student was down because she had a difficulty with this COVID in the family, completely down, not able to come to terms about that loss. Just in under 2 weeks of meditation practice, she is she's completely able to disengage from what has happened from the past and is able to come to terms fully and completely accepting it. And then now she is on her way to going into post graduation beautifully. Meditation is working for everybody. And what's meditation? It is, scientifically speaking, it is changing a mindset. It is reprogramming our subconscious mind. All of us, our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, attitudes, beliefs are all stored in our subconscious mind. Our mind is divided conscious and subconscious. So let's just go and see this. Our thoughts, feelings, all of them are stored in something called subconscious mind. Conscious mind is good for all learning, but subconscious mind is where our actions come from. We tell the child, hey, come on, concentrate. But the concentration is an ability from this neural networks of this conscious mind that need to exhibit. But however, subconscious mind, 90% of what we exhibit daily is coming from the subconscious mind based on a program. A child cannot concentrate if the neural networks are not supporting, because it's got a lot of beliefs that are already formed, already habits are there. The habit to look this side, that side. The habit, the moment a senior student is seen, suddenly recollects a several past bullying experience, so that fills his mind so much that he cannot concentrate at all, because subconscious mind is driving our beliefs, our perceptions, our attitudes, everything. So anything that is done repeatedly, anything that occurs at school, classroom, or at home repeatedly about a situation, now those things go into subconscious, and that's what becomes a behavior. And 90% of daily activity is done through the subconscious. So we can tell in many ways. We can orally telling many ways does not help, because it only goes into conscious, it doesn't go into subconscious at all. Because subconscious feelings are dominating and then drive. So every learning has to be experiential. When you make a learning experiential based, then experience is feeling, and so the feelings go into subconscious, so they actually start changing what they had before in the mind. Instead, they do it with a new feeling. So when you express gratitude, a gratitude is a feeling, right? I'm grateful for something very nice, something little, like I'm able to eat food today. Is a gratitude expression. So I'm able to do that, and then I feel good, and so that feeling goes in, that experience goes into the subconscious, starts becoming stronger there. I express gratitude 10 times to a person, then I become so good with that person. It cannot be removed because it goes into the subconscious. The learning, dear friends, has to be experiential based, feelings driven, and so it goes into subconscious. So then whatever the past is there, The old feelings of low, self-confidence, feeling of anger, feeling of frustrated, not being cared for, all of those feelings then slowly then which are translated to some behaviors and attitudes of withdrawal. And again, some of those will go away when our learning is feeling based towards positive emotion. At a high level, I'm talking here. I've got a limited time here. But meditation fundamentally changing a person inside out because it's changing the subconscious mind patterns. And what subconscious mind role in our day-to-day life? 90%. We wake up, we are inspired we go to a conference, very inspired and say, I got to do so many things. When you go back, you can't do many of those things. You know why? Because your subconscious is taken over. You are learned it with conscious mind, great stuff, but subconsciously you don't have the will, you don't have the drive, because subconsciously you're already programmed and say, my college doesn't, my school doesn't have facilities, my children are very they don't talk about, they don't incorporate. My management has least interest towards these aspects of it, so I can't even teach. So we go with these programs, and when you do these programs, because they're driven through their past experiences, so what you manifest, what you create outside is only that, and not what you really learned to implement. So, dear friends, meditation is helping us reprogram the subconscious and then detach from the past experiences. Very important. A student who is constantly bullied, coming out of the bullying experience takes a lot. But if you can practice meditation for a few minutes a day, is able to very quickly disengage, because meditation helps to experience something larger than the body. It helps us to experience something bigger, a bigger energy, to make us feel that we are in control of ourselves and we are good with ourselves. It just gives that feeling. We're going to practice the meditation. So meditation is a highly beneficial. It moves in a beneficial state of many things: positive thinking, relaxation, deep learning, being very creative, healing your body, healing health significantly, highly being energetic, many aspects. I'm not going to read the chart, but it's highly beneficial because people who go into meditation to create things, people going to develop very high positive mindset. There is this concept of thoughts and feelings create reality. Our thoughts create reality, and meditation moves us into positive mindset. If I say I can't do, then that's what we constantly manifest in our life. If I say I can do, then you can do it. And because our positive thinking is what creates positive experiences. There is a huge science between quantum physics and neuroscience. One can combine and say meditation is able to create. With our positive thinking, we create things in our life. Just by being positive, we can change people, we can change environment. So when children develop meditation, when practice meditation, they develop positive thinking. So automatically they develop positive behavior towards others. So automatically others start responding positively towards them. Bingo, the whole emotional intelligence comes naturally together to them. So dear friends, meditation is move someone with lots of stress. I was asking, what is the reason for stress? Lots of homework, lots of expectation by parents and teachers on the child. What is the stress is what the stress is created to the children, students. So how do we make this more friendly? How do I avoid the expectations onto them? Meditation removes that expectation. Meditation removes the stress. Even the expectations are there from everybody. When they meditate, the stress is removed because they're able to sort of go on their own pace, not being too pressurized by your environment. They're able to build that strength to not get pressurized. When you not get pressurized, all your skill is there, and then so naturally they can perform. So the actual work may not be too much, but the stress is there because of the environment, so they're not able to carry it. But meditation removes the stress for them, for everybody. It makes them very creative. Makes them take ownership, not feel worried about it. And then many more things that are understand it. And I want to leave this slide. Meditation not only is developing emotional intelligence, it develops a lot of mind powers, memory powers, many of them. Reading, concentration, learning, creativity, thought power. If part of the socio-emotional intelligence learning is to increase our performance in classroom, academics, and friends, it needs to also support my power to my memory powers and my ability to concentrate better, ability to store better. So a lot of these are not possible because when stress is carried, a brain is going into fixed mind. Neural networks are getting. So then meditation develops a lot of intelligence. And as a result, when you combine these mind powers into this emotional skill together, a child becomes a perfect being and able to excel excellently and then behave very greatly in the college and classrooms. Friendship is blossomed naturally with meditation. So I can go on talking about various aspects of meditation, and this is a tool that it's there for adults and children alike. Same common thing that can be practiced together. Few minutes of practice, 10 minutes of practice. And the heart elevation process is to keep our hands on our chest area, just with the closed eyes, recollecting a beautiful moment in our life. Something that you really felt good about. You're recognized for something, or you were complimented, you got complimented, or you had your best meal today, so you're happy about it, where you felt so good. So anything that you felt so good, you just recollect. You went into nature, you felt so good spending time. You pet an animal today, so you felt so good. So anything that you felt good, you just recollect that event and then feel it, recollect it, feel it, remember it, and then relive it. Just doing so for a few minutes every day, it heals body significantly and then moves us into heightened, happy, and positive states, coherent states to be with it. This is a simple technique, heart coherence, that one can practice to be positive constantly, right? 20 minutes, 2 times a day, if it is practiced, and then some people are able to increase their health by 60%, immunity is developed by 60%. I'm talking here because we're all student teacher community. Everybody has health challenges just by doing this technique. So meditation that we're going to practice, dear friends, is called breath mindfulness meditation. Is simply observing the breath. So sit down the way you are here, comfortably in your chair or on the floor, cross-legged, fingers into fingers. Remove your specs if you're wearing specs, eyes closed, and we observe a natural breath. When I observe a breath, our mind becomes empty. Our goal of meditation is to empty the mind. You observe the natural breath, take any point on your nose, and then observe that your breath is going in and coming out. When you observe, your mind becomes empty. As the mind is empty, then we start experiencing energy. So our body gets energized, our brain slows down, our negative thoughts, all of them slowly go away, and then we reprogram, we start becoming positive. All of them happen. It's called the magic of meditation happen. So let's practice this technique for a few minutes. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. We have a few minutes. So we'll practice for about 10 minutes of meditation, and then I'll take questions from you. We'll do this meditation practice called observing the breath or mindfulness meditation. Now, this simple technique, as I said, is to just closing your eyes, fingers into fingers, putting your hands comfortably in your lap, and observing your breath. When you observe the breath, naturally mind is empty. So that's all. That is a meditation. There's no other complication, and it can be done in school, in classroom with children, or at home individually, right? Just observing the breath. So relax yourself. I'm playing some music. Meditation gets enhanced when you have a nice instrumental classical music. So I'll play some music, and while I'll also guide a bit, and then I would like you to, with your eyes closed, be with your breath, dear friends. When you're observing a breath, we get empty. In case you have thoughts, bring your attention back to the breath again and continue to observe your breath. Relax yourself with your eyes closed. Relax your body. Feel your body. Dear friends, dear masters, with your eyes closed, Specs removed, fingers into fingers, resting your hands comfortably in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath. Our goal is to empty the mind. Our goal is to merge into this greater emptiness that exists all around. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty, dear friends. Be with your breath. It is natural to have thoughts. When you recognize your thinking, gently go back to observing your breath. Observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath, and allow yourself to slowly become empty of all thoughts in your mind. Meditation is very easy. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. When our mind is empty, we allow our body to function at its natural best. We develop greater intelligence, empathy. Allow yourself to go deeper and deeper into yourself, dear friends. Observe your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty. Friends, express gratitude to all things and everybody, to your parents, your teachers, your mentors, your family, your friends, to the bird, the fish, and the animals, to this nature, to everything you use, to yourself. For living this beautiful life, gratitude is an ultimate state of receivership. Just be thankful to all things and everybody. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. And then you may open your eyes. That was a very short session within the time. Hope you have enjoyed it. But I'll tell you, I have learned this using this technique that we just practiced. I had great personal success in my business in creating anything that we wanted. Today, we are teaching meditation through Buddha Seva Quantum Foundation to thousands of people. Just in this last 1 year, we were able to reach out to about 40,000 people. And I say a lot of that is attributed to the meditation back again. The meditation puts us squarely to be the architect of our lives. The benefits are not one and two. Emotional intelligence is just one dimension, just one dimension. And so all of you are very, very welcome to join us in our programs as free programs we organize, and perfectly complements everything that Seema and Lata Madam and all of you are doing, is complementing and then developing this great skill in meditation programs we organize at buddhaseva.org. You can join. We're organizing this program for students as well as for all of us, first for the adults and all of us, many, many business leaders worldwide connecting to these meditations. And when we meditate in a group, it's much more powerful. This simple technique they learned can be practiced. And the first question that comes from people is, I don't have time. And as a very, very busy executive, and then many leaders who are running multi-billion-dollar empires who are practicing meditations, and meditation gives us at least 3 to 5 hours of extra time in a day. It creates the time. It removes unwanted things. It increases our efficiency and optimizes sleep. So we extra develop the time. So we can do everything at more things. So we just have to break that initial habit of not being able to do it and then get into it. And then if you practice for a few days, then you will develop and you'll never leave it. So thank you so much, Seemaji and Latha, madam, for giving this opportunity. Maybe a minute is there. If anybody has a question, I'll take it, or whatever way you'd like to carry from here.
Sir, if you can share the link of the meditation classes that you have on a daily basis so that teachers can make use of that.
Was there a question? Sorry, I missed the initial part.
So if you can share your website details so that we can, teachers can participate in the meditation programs. Yes. Yeah. In the chat, if you can just share the link.
Ravindra, can you put that, please? Yes.
So your statement, inspiration comes.
Yes, I will do it.
Yeah. Inspiration comes when we love what we do. That has really taken the cue for the day. Thank you so much, sir. A very nice session. We really enjoyed the meditation also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shima and Lata, for giving this opportunity. I think I wish you all the best in doing everything you're doing. Knowledge is precursor to any experience. So giving this is fundamental, because we are in the state of learning, doing, being. So when you learn knowledge, then we get to do it, and then so it becomes experience. And so beautiful. Thank you for the initiative. We're happy to complement or assist you all in any way as you further your endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Janni ma'am, attendance form is there.
Yes,
Excuse me.
Yes,
Excuse
sir.
me. Ma'am, actually, I was just going through the SIR website, especially for having the session. But there are no, there are some, we are into the basic beginning stage of the doing it. But then I think there are no programs where we can do it. Because whatever are there are again August 23 to 12 already, some sessions are already going on.
Yes, you can join that program. So who are you're asking? Anil Kumarji, I think. Yes.
My name is Anil Kumar, sir.
Yes, you can join that program. It is, of course, it is ending in a week, but we do it regularly. So this program I'm finishing now, 6 weeks program, is ending in a week. But something will start.
Yes, sir.
Something will start. Just check on that, and then there are always programs. Okay.
Yes, actually, one program is there from September 25th to 30th, but that program is like advanced meditation, and we are in the beginning stage. So
yeah. So all I'm saying is, yeah, leave that advanced part, and then wait for there'll be more programs. There'll be for say October. Then you can join any program. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Join the program called Crystal that is happening. Still 1 week left. That Crystal program.
Yes, sir. Crystal is there.
You can register.
6 week guided meditation.
Yes, register and join that. So you will be part of a large group of people meditating. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.